There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48. Built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tonight, we're on to week 2 of the NFL season. We got a good one on tap, as it'll be the Washington Commanders taking on the Green Bay Packers. After a great first week of football, what does week 2 have in store? The Commanders and the Packers underway on Thursday night primetime. That's going to be taken at the goal line, and he'll return it. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. At their own 26-yard line. First carry for the Iowa State man, Breece Hall. And that to the 30. It'll be second down. When you look at this defense, they are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 6.
Here we go.
Ball again. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1? This defense for the Commanders is terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
To throw now, here's Love. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, the Packers called on Daniel Whelan to punt. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Daniels looking to throw. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot, and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. To throw is Daniels. Pass caught. It's Lane with it. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first.
Panther 60, trap 50, trap 50. Cut 19, cut 19. Panther 11, Panther 11. 18, Pioneer. Ready.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. You look at this Packers defense. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
Normally you want teams to gel late in the season, but this unit, they've been terrific right from the word go. Came in as the number 1 rated unit against the pass in the NFL after just 1 week.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. To the air goes Daniels. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd.
Let's go now. Cougar 19. 19 tight. 19 tight. Warrior 70.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. Daniels going to throw for it. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively, all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
Hey, roll. Ready?
Robinson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
60 Mavericks, 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
Throwing now is Daniels. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Packers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Now Hall to start the drive. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
Strike. Check striker. Check pink. Ready?
Here's Hall again. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking of throwing to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the 1st down and then some.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. The Packers at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
A short throw to Musgrave. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. No score after 1 on EA Sports. This now a 3rd and 4.
Ready. 33. Yellow. Blue striker. Cut. Go. Slice blue. Needle blue. Red. Cycle. Ready.
Throwing. Love. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
And here's Daniel wheeling on now to punt. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, just the way the schedule lines up, because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? Or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well?
On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Isaiah Simmons, boy, he can move all over the field, and he gets a tackle for loss there. They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Here's Daniels. Eluding the pressure right. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Third down and 10.
18, Pioneer. Here we go, here we go. Cougar 19. 19 Lions. 60 Maverick. 60 Maverick. Panther 11. Panther 11. Dragon 60. Ready.
Now Daniels. And that is incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Just 21 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10.
At their own 47-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. We sort of suspected that the elements might wreak havoc on both of these offenses, and that's been the case. No points on either side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Packers! Christian Watson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this second quarter. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Washington will take over first and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
They're set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
2nd and 9 now. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch here by McLaurin, and he's got himself a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time you wait for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now a give to Jacobs running right. And he stopped immediately there. The tackle there by the safety, Xavier McKinney.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Daniels. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. 19 tight, 19 tight.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Now the Commanders going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. Tressway on 4th down is sent out to punt. Not too shabby here. This will skip out of bounds at about the 12-yard line.
At their own 12-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last time that was the case. 1 play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
2nd and 1 now from the 21.
Set, ready.
They'll go again with Hall. Sheds off the tackle. Still going. He's on his way. Breece Hall. Touchdown, Packers. Breece Hall, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point hung the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that'll make the score 14-0. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Gets around him. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
At their own 32-yard line.
Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game.
Look at my team. Hey, Chris.
Operating from the gun. Daniels. To the sideline and incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. 2nd down here after the incomplete pass.
Panther 11, Panther 11. 19 Riot.
Operating from the gun. Daniels forced out to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
They'll send a receiver here in motion right. They go play action. Daniels. And it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Ready.
2nd and 10.
Get up. Panther 60, Panther 60.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Off the play fake. Daniels. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Come on. Trap 60, trap 60. Warrior 70.
Play action, now it's Daniels. That is caught. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
They'll look to throw again. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
The game clock sitting at 2:02, so they'll get one play before the 2-minute warning.
Here we go. 60 Bison, 60 Bison.
And now an audible here into something else.
19 tight, 19 tight. Go.
Back to throw again. Flush to his right. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
Dragon 60. Let's go now. Cougar 19.
Looking to throw. Daniels. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
A 35-yard attempt.
And Gay knocks this one through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Well, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30.
1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Check pink. Come on.
On first down, right back to Hall. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It was Deron Payne who got in there to make the play.
At the 46-yard line.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Red, cycle. Down.
Love. A short throw to Musgrave. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting into the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Set, ready, black swap. Blue, 30.
They'll run with Hall. Well, he's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each.
And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety.
I have to think the sooner halftime can get here for them, the better, because that first half has been rough, and that safety, it only adds to their issues. The other sideline, though, I think they're fine if we just skip the break and keep playing.
This is taken at the 15. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Just inside of a minute left, Charles. They got a pretty long field ahead of them. I'm curious to see how they play this, but you would think definitely enough time to at least try to get 3 out of this.
Yeah, you want to move with a nice sense of pace. You want to up the tempo a little bit, but you have to do it with some poise as well. You don't want to go so fast that you hurry yourself into mistakes. There's enough time to put points on the board if they do it right.
And even though they have the lead, you know that they would love to extend this lead before heading to the locker room. Now a 2nd and 10.
Yellow. Let's go now. Yellow. 22. Smash. Red.
Love now. This pass out wide to Hall. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half.
Give them the completion. No gain, but let's focus in on that tackle. Open field tackling, the hardest thing to do in the game, I believe.
But when you get outside the tackle box, it becomes a numbers game. The defense had more than they could block.
Block 40.
Here's Love. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 39-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they do have terrific starting field position, but no timeouts to work with, so they'll need to operate quickly.
Trap 50, trap 50. 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. 19 Lions. Ready.
Throwing to start the drive. Daniels slings this deep from McLaurin. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
19, Charger, 19. Hey, Chad. Mustang, 19.
Back to throw. Daniels slings this deep from McLaurin. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
A very limited time left to get into field goal range before the half, and they tried to get it all on one throw right there.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
18 Rattler, 79 Broncos, 70 Rangers, 70 Rangers. Riggs.
Looking to throw. Daniels. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense They've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. They find some open field here. And when the out of bounds just shy of the 40. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. They had a chance to limit his yardage, but he was able to fight off that tackle.
So it's not just the responsibility of the guys who missed the tackles along the way. It's all 11 on defense, able to stop this guy, unable to do it on that play. They've got to find a way. How about his ability to break through and gain that yardage?
Love looking to throw it. Short throw. He's got Kraft.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. In that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Final play of the half, Love. Man open left side, it's his running back with it. And with the clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of the second quarter.
Indeed, indeed.
Well, this offensive unit, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Oh, good-looking return set up here. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return.
You know, we always talk about the chess match in a football game, but we're usually talking about offensive coordinator versus defensive coordinator. How about the special teams coaches? I think we just saw a big-time adjustment by one to help his team get a spark to start the second half.
Out there set ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast.
He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. A call and luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Oh, that held up there a long time, but it falls innocently and incomplete.
I'm sure there was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
70 Timberwolves. Mustang 19.
To throw is Daniels. Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. Daniels looking to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Commanders went for it, but they cannot pick up the first. And it'll be a turnover on downs. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
Come on, set. Hut.
To throw now. Here's Love. Got a man. It's the rookie out of the third round. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First play of the drive, a success. 19 yards.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Here we go.
Now Love. Short throw. He's got Kraft. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Rolling to his left. A short throw to Musgrave. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it's second down. He was out there waving his arms. When you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Second down and 3.
Ready.
We'll give now to Evander Campbell. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Here we go, set. Blue, 32. Ready.
On play action. Love to throw. His throw incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Let's go. Black shot. Ready?
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on third down.
think this will even... Nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short. And they will not be able to add on to their 20-point lead.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Throwing now is Daniels. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
60 Vikings, 60 Vikings, 19 Lions.
To the air goes Daniels. Zach Ertz has it complete. And he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Back to throw. Daniels. Finding Ertz again. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That's good for 28 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
He'll run right here with Jacobs. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down. Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
19 Charger, 19 Charger.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Josh Jacobs, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
And that's a step in the right direction. This had the feeling of one of those turning point kind of drives. If you come up empty there, it could be a long road back. But they persevered and hung around, and they closed the gap here in the 3rd quarter with their first touchdown of the game.
Commanders 10. Matt Gay to kick off for Washington.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin at the 35-yard line.
Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And he'll take this ahead for about 4 First second down coming up.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Hey, full fury. 33, yellow.
And they'll go again with Abanikanda. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Love from the gun on third down. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
And on fourth down, is the punt team sending this one away. On that punt, we've got a man shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got them pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, playing the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
Second down, Jacobs once more. Fights through and now a crease. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 45 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Come on. Hey.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, and the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. Well, if there was any thought that this thing might turn around for this offense in the second half, I think those thoughts pretty well dashed after that interception return there.
It just has not been a good outing for this unit whatsoever. There's no other way to say it. They've been overmatched, haven't performed to the level that they've needed, and that throw there is just going to contribute to this game getting out of hand.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good. Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And that last pick six may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the fourth quarter. They need points quickly. He's had his eyes on 7,000 career rushing yards, and with that last effort, he has hit that mark. What a career.
And that is the number to focus in on, because oftentimes we talk about where do they rank all time. We're not there yet. He's not knocking on the top 10 or the top 20, but over 7,000 yards in a career, fantastic.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
The offense on third down tonight, they've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Seven Pirates. Dragon 60. Ready.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Packers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it.
And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Packers! Christian Watson, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Packers are on their way to a 2-0 start. Well, Charles, just impressive in all 3 phases. Offense, defense, special teams have really done their job. And here the offense doing its part yet again with another score in the 4th quarter.
I know it seems like something we shouldn't do because the scoreboard does tell it all. But let's set it aside for a moment. This game was absolutely memorable with how they played it. Really terrific effort, really well executed. Congratulations to them.
And Patterson back out there to send this one away. Well, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he goes out of bounds after a solid return to the 45.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Ready.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here's Daniels. Pass caught. It's Lane with it. And he's got this down to the 35. They give him 16 yards there, and it's a Washington first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now Daniels. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column, but as a defense, They don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Here we go. Stack. Hey, hey.
The handoff, Jacobs running to the left. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 72 yards on the ground here for Jacobs, and this is a first down.
At the 9-yard line.
Let's go.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one. But now he appears to be in some pain. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Robinson is in. Touchdown, Washington. They go I formation. Fullback leads the way for the touchdown. Sort of a lost art, isn't it?
It really is, but sometimes when you're able to bring it back and use it against other teams, they're not prepared for it. They haven't seen it in a while, and now you gain an advantage, and we just saw that advantage result in a touchdown.
Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And the lead is down to 20.
Makes the score Packers 37, Commanders 17.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick.
For Washington.
And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. Abanican on 1st and 10. Now he's able to break through one tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. Well, this is caught by Williams. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so. Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. To pass, here's Jordan Love. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, They've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Daniels to the right side and caught by center. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. First target, first catch, and a first down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. If they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. They'll look to throw here on first down. Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Panther 11.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Packers are going to get the football back at their own 17. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 50 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Here we go, set. 45, white, striker, 3-3, black ultra, steel, black, green jack. Set.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
Yellow, 43.
Love, they go play action now. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1, and, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but just show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to them here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is brought in at the 21. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And they will take over 1st and 10.
26-yard line.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here. We'll do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance. The passing game's off balance.
And the Packers are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, in a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So for the Packers, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Commanders, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.